Greetings, everyone. Hello, everyone. My name is Dennis Lee. I'm a professor in the Textile Surface and Fabric Styling departments, and I'm taking you to one of my favorite places in the university today. Welcome to Periodicals. I have checked out this book from the main stacks of Joseph Hoffman Interiors. This is actually going to be my starting point. It's a wonderful book on the Bauhaus period, and you can see from the beginning how simplified a lot of the designs are. The minimalist, the simplicity, the color. That was another thing. Can't judge a book by its cover, but for us, as soon as we saw that big pop of yellow, we just wanted to put that into play. I've already researched the library catalogs online, and now I'm bringing my list to check everything off, and Eileen Flanagan, she's going to help me get my different information. Oh, great. I also want to utilize these incredible resources in the open stacks. Yeah, this one here is one of my favorite magazines out, Fortune magazine, and believe it or not, this is May 1937, and it has so much reference in this. It also gives you a period of the time history and the history that was going on, not in just design, but in other areas. And that's very important as a designer, to be in the area and the time, where you're creating. Next up, lookbooks. And this is actually my go-to. And it's very, very important because there's so many things. We call it, my friend Eileen and I call it going down the rabbit hole a lot of times. But browsing is really important. It's one of those things that you're looking for one thing and you find so many others. Marimekko had started right at the end of World War II. Family-owned business in Finland. Now we're hitting right into the 50s, going into 60s, 70s, and 80s, and Marimekko is still going strong today. A lot of the European firms were family-based, but just beautiful in their simplicity. And the same thing going into Versace. And this is why I find this area so important, because each designer has had their decade or decades. A lot of them keep going. But it's really wonderful when you can take these and emulate the color, bring it to the next one, just like we started off with the Joseph Hoffman book in the beautiful golds and blacks and stuff. Here we come again in a very classic approach, but could be very modern. Here I've gathered everything today from my research visit, and you can see it all goes back and relates to the beginning. We've got the wonderful polka dots with the simple stripes, but you notice everything that's been done has some kind of dotted element to it. And then we found this beautiful shirt by Kenzo with the polka dots. And then again, we're going back to Marimekko. Again, this is 60 years later than this one was. And look at the colors. Look in here. I mean, this is definitely during right the beginning of the war. This is the end of the Second World War, but everything starts relating. And then you get this beautiful jolt of color and this is a lot of what we do in textile surface and styling. We get these different images, and they really become inspiration for fashion. They become inspiration for product. They get inspiration for the home. And then also let's not forget about the 1980s. The over-the-top 80s, you have Versace really coming into play here in the beautiful tones of color on this velvet overcoat. And look at how incredible this all looks together. So when you're starting to put these all together, it starts making sense. You're telling a visual story. And then we're finishing up with this guy over here, 2025. Your parents will remember this, but this is an old Alfred Hitchcock movie based on The Birds with Tippi Hedren. So we're always about telling the story. And then the textile surface design, it's all about the print and all about the pattern. Thank you for coming in today. I can't stress enough the importance of getting this all together like this and the process. Please come and use these unique resources
that nobody else has at the FIT library.